2, 3, 4.
Keeping score, I don't know, but I'm trying to figure this out on my own. Take me to paradise and call me back home. Make me feel you again. It's all going on. There's some things you can't control, but I think I know a thing or two about. Love you, they don't. I washed up on the shore with pity and doubt. And are you insecure? Or did you just burn out? Was my heart too far from saving? Or were you just afraid to call it love? So good to feel it, but it kills you when you don't. Love, 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 love. And it always keeps you coming, even when you've had it right. What if you love someone and you're not enough? on the road. I've been around before. Rooftops, sliding doors. Just wanna know you more. I hope you wanna be with somebody. Spending all of the night moonwalking. And with the view she could see her building. Try to tell her